Hi, everyone. And today, boy, have I got a treat for you today. This is Erika Barrantes.
Hi.
And many of you have, I'm sure, have heard me speak about Erika before many times because I have highly recommended her. Erika is a neuro-emotional technique practitioner. And today we're going to explain to you what neuro-emotional technique is and what it does and why I believe that it can actually save lives. But Erika is also going to hopefully give you some tools so that if you can't find a emotional technique practitioner near you, you can still have some tools that you can use at home. But I just want Erika maybe to just chime in and tell me a little bit about how you would describe NET, neuro-emotional technique.
One of my favorite questions.
Yes.
I say that because it's such a hard thing to explain verbally. It's an experience, but I'll try here again to kind of encompass it. It's been around since about 1985, but it's really a composite collection of ancient knowledge to modern knowledge that Dr. Walker, both him and his wife, based out of San Diego and Sanitas, 30 plus years ago. I think they're celebrating our 35th year this October. So it's been around as far as a technique for about 35 years now. And what it does, it allows the natural flow of our body's energies to allow themselves to show up consciously, because they're subconsciously being blocked through many, many factors. And it's a way of utilizing applied kinesiology along with the meridian system of ancient Chinese medicine, and also applying the new nutritional knowledge we have in neurotransmitters with the new knowledge in that realm of science. It brings it all together so that we allow, it's almost so simple that it's amazing how powerful it works. Because when you allow those circuits to connect and clear, when we find we call the NEC, which is the neuro-emotional complex, that complex is then allowed to be set free from a pattern that was set back. It could be generationally back thousands of years to this lifetime now, where those cells have gotten to a pattern of what they perceive, I say they as ourselves, as the survival mode. And that survival mode can then supersede the rational thinking of your logical brain. And that's where you can get incongruencies in your subconscious body that's working against what you consciously are working on. So NET is very powerful with connecting those two perceived paradigms to line up with you, and allows us, or you and us, to stay present instead of living in the past, as well as anticipating the future. So that's why it helps with anxiety as well, because it helps you stay present. So NET is like a great technique to get your body to be more present and allow yourself to make decisions not on your emotions, but on more rationale with the emotional guidance versus the emotional control. And that's a whole other topic there. So a lot of us are being controlled by our emotions in the planet. And what NET allows us to do is to be able to use our emotions as guidance tools and a friend versus a foe of keeping you in the past or in the future. NET, the neuro-emotional technique, is one of many modalities that I do use at my office, but that is the one that I'm known for as because it has so much power and resolve with health issues.
Yeah. So in fact, one of the things that I discovered is that you could work through things in your mind and in your emotions, but your body may not be resonant with it. And that was, for me, very powerful because Erika asks your body. And so let's say if you are going through a physical challenge, and let's say in my case, let's say I'm going through a physical challenge and I'm saying that, and I'm telling Erika that I know recently I've had a lot of things come at me, which I have had a challenge in saying no to, but I have been saying no to them because I know I should. So what Erika does as an example is she'll test my body. Is my body okay with saying no to these things? And my body goes weak. In other words, my mind knows that I need to say no to these things because I shouldn't be taking them on, even though the old me is like, yes, I can't say no, so I want to do it. But no, the new me is like, no, I don't want to do it. But my body is still resisting. It hasn't aligned with the new me yet. My body is still not ready, and my body is still feeling really uncomfortable saying no. It's still cringing at the thought that these people might disapprove of me. So I might be doing it physically in theory, but psychologically, I haven't accepted this. I haven't accepted it yet.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'm doing a good job of explaining it, but I would love for you to show the audience an example.
Sure.
Can I check in and see where my body is at with the grief of losing my mom, but particularly the feeling of not being there when she transitioned?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I thought so. I haven't done this yet, so this will be new for me as well. So this just gives you an example of what Erika does.
I don't think you've done any tea since your mom has passed. Correct?
No,
yeah,
I don't think I've come in
Not
for
yet.
a session.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I know we're in the middle of we just moved our offices, so that was another.
Yeah, yes.
So yes, let's just check that right now. So go ahead and
Okay.
put your arm. So what I do is I check just to collaborate with Anita's. I use this muscle here because it's the easiest to demonstrate on video as well as for the person's body. But say she had a shoulder aches or her shoulder is not working, I can use her legs, I can use many other muscles. This is the cleanest one. So hold here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand over her belly button to check her nervous system's automatic nervous system's ability to actually balance and be calibrated. So let's check if that's open. Am I on it? Yep. And so her arm goes weak here. I'm going to do a flat hand so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Her arm naturally just goes weak. If I let go of that reflex, I push on her arm, pushing really hard, and nothing's happening. Put my hand over her belly button and just gently loosens up. So when you experience this, and those of you who have experienced it in the chat, you can kind of try to explain what you can. I'm going to do this point here too to make sure she's things are polar and balanced, and that's nice and open too. So those two reflexes I check every single visit just to check that things are in balance before I move forward. So what we can do is start with the feeling mode of just the feeling of your, the reality that you weren't able to be there physically when she crossed over. And your arm is strong when you think about that. Let me check this if this is open, and this actually blocks now.
Oh, okay.
So now her nervous system actually blocked. And what that means is the nervous system's ability to downregulate, heal, rest, digest, or get up and go, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, those are the medical terms for that. That was imbalanced. And then once I had to think about that, her body went into almost like having your emergency brakes on your car. Your car still functions, but the brakes are on. And so you're really pushing your apparatus to work harder than it needs to. So let's just see, go think about your mom again and how. Good. Now put your hand on your forehead, and that opens it right up again. So now when her arm shows me the emotional component is active, go ahead and let go. I'm going to scan her body's meridians here, the lungs. I'm going to do this point here, conception vessel, the heart, mediastinum, the stomach. So her stomach circuit, as you can see on the video, I went to her stomach, and that locked in the connection. When I go to her lungs, it stays weak. When I go to her heart, it stays weak. Try it for the video. If I go to her stomach, her arm locks really strong up. So that tells us that the meridian of the stomach circuit has the NEC, the emotional component to this thought of her mom crossing over and you're not being there.
So where it goes weak, it actually means it's fine.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah. And but where it locks in is trying to tell you that's where, kind of like that's where the energy is blocked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The arm is giving me a barometer. So weak or strong isn't necessarily good or bad. There's no good or bad here. It's information. So it's letting me know that there's a change in strength when I went to her nervous system to show like, oh, that shouldn't be in this reflex blocked. It should be open. Let's open up again. And let's open it with her emotional points, opened it up. And then what blocked it again was the stomach. So I'm kind of getting the body to guide me to where we need to go to help the healing. Let's see if it's still active. Think about your mom again. I'm kind of opening the circuit again. There we go. And then I go here and it locks up again. Good. So I'm going to say the emotions that correlate with the stomach meridians. We have the concept of oversympathetic, low self-esteem, disgust, expanded importance of self, egotistic, despair, and despair opens it up. So these emotions, I have it all memorized. There's a whole chart. I could actually send a copy if you guys want of all the emotions that correlate with each meridian, and despair is coming up. And despair is the emotion just like this despair giving up. Yeah. Something about why or because despair.
Despair that I couldn't be there or feeling that I should have gone earlier.
Yeah, I should have come earlier. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so that her body is confirming that she's on the right track. So this just means that the emotion despair is very healthy, natural emotion, nothing wrong with the emotions, but it was getting stuck in a loop. And so the despair that you just wish you could have gone sooner. You didn't wait. Anything else? And then ask the body, anything else besides this concept? And it locks up. So I'm going to check the concept of an original event. If there was an original event, there's not always an original event, but where this despair emotion and the chemistry got stuck in the loop because you have regret if you wish you would have done something different. So the outcome would have been different. The despair of missing out on an important. Yeah. So when you were conception to birth to age 10, 10 to age 20, 10 to age 15, age 16, and you're feeling despair at age 16. And so at this point, I ask, where were you? What were you doing at age 16? And most people have no memory, some people do, but if you don't, we can ask more questions. What was going on at age 16 in your life?
At age 16, I was at school. I guess
School.
was it to do with school? Was it feeling unpopular with my friends?
There it is. So
I was feeling left out.
And I'm just checking her stomach. Yep, it's still locking there. So despair, if you wish you would have done something sooner or different, anything going on there with your friends. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I can check what month, if you have more memory, you're going to check what month it was that year.
Okay.
So age 16, and I'm going to check the month of March, your birthday month, April, May, June, July, August.
Was it to do with my uncle passing away and my mom having to leave? I had some really big exams or tests at that time, but my mom had to leave to be with her sister because her sister's husband passed away. She had to go to England. My mom had to go to England, and I did really badly on those tests because I was quite traumatized by everything that was happening
with your family,
with my family, with losing my uncle and my mom having to leave at that time and be away. And my dad, who I didn't really get along with him really well. And I was about 16. Yeah.
That's all testing too. So as she's talking about this, I'm just checking her body's, we call hot on the trail, that emotional despair is all tying in with this time frame.
So that means that emotion from age 16 was still trapped somewhere in my body.
It can get triggered by
an
association, which in this case could be, and you mentioned your friends earlier, and it was testing as well. So how is your social life tying in with this? Your mom leaving and school and studying in August.
I was very lonely during that time. I was very, very, very close to my mom because I was going through a phase of, I was not popular because I was a brown kid in a school that was it was all British kids, and I was a little bit overweight, and I was very self-conscious. And so I was miserable at school, and then my mom was gone. It was just a really,
It's like a collection of just all these stressors going on at that time.
Yes, and I actually remember some of my friends going out and leaving me behind and not including me, and feeling really rejected on every aspect of my life. I was really feeling rejected.
Anything else besides this? Yeah, you kind of got the crux. I kind of brought up all this memory of that despair, and especially your mom leaving for a funeral, for a death, as a connection.
Yeah, and my mom was gone for a long time because it was her kid sister who had just lost her husband.
So hand right here understood. So what you're gonna do is going to go to that feeling, which is all that despair around that time frame, and put this hand on your forehead. What we're doing is connecting. And go ahead and if you can curl your back, that when you curl the spine, it helps the healing. And you're just picking up on something. And what happens, you can take 3 deep breaths. And after 3 deep breaths, this is like an example of, like earlier, Nita was saying how we take deep breaths to synchronize at the beginning of this session today. We're doing this the same kind of concept in our body to help synchronize the past 16-year-old to now, to allow that despair to, we can't change the past, we're allowing the despair to get unstuck. and to allow that freedom of movement to happen.
Yes, Yoda's picking up on something. Yoda is Erika's dog, my god dog.
He'll come up later probably. How do you, yeah, so that 16-year-old, take a deep breath and sigh. There you go. And then I'm going to check here again. So now I'm checking your nervous system again. And I'm just going to check something. I'll go a little deeper here. Go ahead, turn your head to the shoulder here. And I'm opening up the circuit of your neck. Say, other emotions here. Good. And look straight at me now. And I'm looking at her right eye to right eye. It's called the technique that's from past NET to see if there's anything else going on that's nonverbal and you're strong. So think about your mom again and her passing away and you're being here. And let's see here. And now you're more open. Yeah. So your nervous system is now more available to be in balance, even when you go back to that thought.
Yeah.
Would you say was kind of like haunting you? Like it would intercede, like you're busy, and then when you're quiet, it'll kind of.
Yeah. Yes. There were moments where I still couldn't believe that I haven't seen her for the last couple of years and I wasn't there and I didn't go see her. And yeah, it takes something away from your energy and your thoughts.
And so that's the thing with NET. It helps that one aspect of despair that was just zapping energy constantly, and that can last for a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
After. So that's what NET helps kind of just take away these bits of energies that are just picking at us and gnawing at us and not letting us be present.
Yeah. And of course, as you can imagine, these sessions can get really emotional as well.
Yeah.
And I was doing everything to not kind of break down on the screen. But
I was going to say, it's very courageous and giving of you to share this with your audience, this intimate,
I've had so many people write to ask, what is NET? Like, what does it look like? What actually happens? And I wanted to give them a demonstration, a real live demonstration. And what you saw was only a small segment of what happens and then this opens it up for you to then, now the healing has begun. It's not like it's over, but now the healing, your body can now focus on healing from that trauma.
And from here,
that was a big one.
Put two pictures like this. I'm going to check and see if you need a remedy right here. And you're good there. And 911. So this is telling me she needs a homeopathic remedy to help process this movement of chemistry going on now. And we will get that later. I guess you have it here somewhere.
I have it upstairs.
And that was what's called a thought form feeling mode entry. I had her feel that entry. And that's one of the most powerful ones out of the other entries. The other entry can be, say she has a pain somewhere, or I just contact a meridian point and I check that for emotions that are stuck, or have her say something like, I'm okay, even though I haven't seen mom for the past 3 years. And then you want to check that one right now?
Okay. I'm okay, even though I haven't seen mom for the past 3 years.
Yeah. So your body's okay with that.
Good.
Mom can be okay with me.
Mom can be okay with me not having seen her for the past 3 years.
Good. So had that gone weak, we can't speak for her mom, literally, but what we're doing is checking Anita's body's perception that her mom can be okay with her, that she didn't go see her in the past 3 years. And that's huge, because that could be this weight of guilt of the unknown. So sometimes people outside of our lives are okay with us, but if we can't accept that they're okay with us, then it nulls it out and you're still carrying the stress that people are okay. So that was an example of that. How do you feel? Because then I asked the person who I'm working with, if they're very in tune with themselves, as Anita is, then we can collaborate even more so, because sometimes you can feel in your body something going on, or and taking the 911 will help unlayer another layer, probably. If you take spray, that can also bring up another layer of this. But
yeah, I'm actually feeling good. I'm feeling good, like something got released. I'm feeling good. And one of the reasons I recommend Neuro-Emotional Technique is because a lot of people, you hear, you listen to Bruce Lipton, who says that we've got all this programming from our young age, and it's the programming that's running our lives. And we hear Gabor Mate, who speaks about the trauma from the past that has that actually also runs our lives, our past trauma that's trapped in our bodies and can cause physical illness. And for me, it's also past trauma that caused physical illnesses. So this is why when I discovered something that can actually help to release the trauma, because our own minds can't always undo the problems that our own minds created in the first place. So this is why I tend to talk about neuro-emotional techniques.